40k fans rejoice, for the Emperor has blessed our ravaged bodies with a new FPS. Fatshark, the developers behind the popular Warhammer Vermintide and Vermintide 2 games, are moving their brand of visceral 4-player co-op action into the grim darkness of the far future. Just check out this cinematic trailer that they dropped on us.
My Lord Inquisitor, I've reached a term of prime and begun our investigations. Our recon squad has been sent into sub-level 6 of the Hive to determine the full extent of the unrest. I'll know more when they make it back. If they make it back.
This is exciting news for fans of Warhammer 40,000 who haven't had a 40k based FPS since 2016's Deathwing. While there isn't a great deal of information out there at the moment, between the cool announcement trailer, the Steam store listing, and additional news shared by the Warhammer community site, we can make some educated guesses about the game. Darktide will be set on the world of Atoma Prime, with the players taking the role of a recon squad sent by the Inquisition into Hive Tertium, a heretical chaos cult, known as the Admonition, has spread the seeds of corruption in the depths of the Hive, attempting to subvert the divine will of the Emperor of Mankind, and the players will serve the will of the Inquisition in investigating and stamping out this corruptive influence. Darktide will share some mechanics with Fatshark's previous game, Vermintide 2, such as 4-player co-op, and the visceral melee combat the series is known for will be implemented, retaining that satisfying feel from the Warhammer titles. But 40k is as much about the shooting as the stabbing and slicing, which is why the developers are reworking the ranged combat to make it more robust and just as much fun as the melee. Our hope is that we can deliver on some truly hybrid combat that's both accessible yet boasts a high skill ceiling, offering the same opportunity for mastery regardless of whether you've got a lasgun or a chainsword in your hands. Speaking of weapons, we have a good idea of what will be included in the game. The trailer shows a decent mix of weaponry, with the Imperial Guard staple, the lasgun, the more powerful plasma gun, and the iconic chainsword. This gives us a glimpse of what Fatshark are aiming for, hybrid squads utilising a mix of ranged, heavy and melee weapons while delving into the depths of the Hive. Some of the additional key art that has been released by the developers teases additional destructive delights, such as this Promethium-fueled flamer, but which character can take these weapons may depend on their class or career. Vermintide 2 has a wide range of weapons for each of the 5 playable characters, with certain weapons being locked to a particular class. Each character has 3 classes to pick between, at least before any DLC, with different skills and abilities available to each one. We'll likely see the same class-based system return in Darktide, with weapons and skills being determined by the character and class you play. This key art suggests a close-range specialist in the Flame Trooper, a heavy specialist in what looks like an Ogryn, the largest shock troopers used by the Imperial Guard, a mid-distance guardsman, and a long-range specialist. More may be revealed in future updates from the developers, but we've already got a decent variety here. As for the enemy these faithful servants of the Emperor will face, we already know they're up against a cult dedicated to the ruinous powers of chaos, the Admonition, and that horde of zombie-like creatures in the trailer means we're going to be cutting down hundreds of them. Specifically, it looks like the forces of Nurgle, the chaos god of plagues and decay. The shambling zombie-like creatures glimpsed in the trailer are shown more clearly on the store page, and it looks like they are poxwalkers. Poxwalkers, for those unfamiliar with 40k, are poor unfortunate souls who have been infected with a plague of undeath, their bodies reanimated to serve Nurgle and spread his rot further. There are also larger creatures to face off against, meaning the taint that has spread to this world has taken firm root, and players will be fighting all sorts of demonic entities when the game launches. This will probably take a similar form as the larger special enemies from Vermintide, like the Rat Ogre or Chaos Spawn. As for the world the game takes place in, we'll be delving deep into the heart of Hive Tertium to root out the Chaos Cult. The shots that have been released of the environments are full of detail, with golden Imperial Aquillas, raised pulpits, and deep shafts falling away into the depths of the Hive City. These early images are pretty impressive, and are a good indication of the level of commitment Fatshark has invested into making Darktide really feel like the grim darkness of Warhammer 40,000. There's a lot of potential here for something great, but I'd like to know what you folks think. Have you played the Vermintide games? What would you like to see brought across from those games, or changed? What classes would you like to see? Let me know down below, subscribe to stay up to date with the latest videos, and I'll see you next time.